morning. Come and have a seat. Right here. I understand that you are consulting me to learn about some of your past lives. Well, before I begin to discuss your past lives, I would like to talk about our souls. You see, once our soul is created, it lives forever. We pass through many thousands of lives over a period of thousands or millions or even billions of years. There are 6 levels that our soul has to pass through until we complete all the cycles of reincarnation. When you get to the 6th level, you do not have to incarnate into a physical form anymore. So, as for yourself, you are 300 million years old and you are on the 3rd level. Now, you may think that 300 million years is a long time, but it's actually not long at all in the scheme of things. It's just like the blink of an eye. And so, that is why we have many lives, with each life we learn and we grow and we go to the next level. Which I said can take millions or even billions of years to complete, depending on how fast you learn. How old am I? Well, that's a long story if you want to hear it. You do? Well, actually, I'm a very old soul. I'm 8 billion years old. And I actually reached the 6th level about 45 million years ago. And I didn't have to reincarnate into a physical form anymore. Basically, all of my lives on Earth have been voluntary, so that I could help people and spread knowledge about 5 billion years ago. I was still on level 4, and that's when the masters told me that when I get to level 6, I would choose to incarnate on a planet called Earth. This planet had not even existed yet 5 billion years ago. And they said that I would have 20 lives on the planet Earth, and they would be spread out over 30,000 years. They said I was a light beacon of intelligence and that I was a healer, and I would come to the planet Earth to help people and spread knowledge and heal the sick souls. the masters are extremely old souls. They are trillions of years old, which I know can be unimaginable, but that's the way things are. Well, anyway, back to talking about Earth. Around 500 million years ago, I was observing the formation of the planet Earth. And it was finally starting to cool down, and it could sustain life. At this point, I was at level 5. The first forms of life began to appear on Earth. About 100 million years ago, I observed the dinosaurs starting to roam the Earth from a distance. I was still in spirit form. I had not incarnated in physical form in quite a long time. And finally, 45 million years ago, I saw the first mammals appear on the Earth. There were still no people. And at this point, I had reached level 6 because I did have an incarnation on a very advanced planet in another galaxy. Their civilization was very technologically advanced. And they were spiritually advanced too. There were no wars and no crimes. All diseases could be cured by medical science, and there was no suffering. And after I lived on that planet, which was in the Pleiades star system, I reached level 6. But as I said, 45 million years ago, there were still no people on Earth. Until about 2 million years ago, humans finally appeared on planet Earth. But I still had a long wait for my first life on Earth, which was 30,000 years ago. And since then, I've had 20 lives on Earth. This is my 20th life. And this is my last life on Earth. I will no longer incarnate on this planet in the physical form. I will be moving on to other projects which will help with the flow of the universe. Now I know this all sounds probably like science fiction to you, but it's all true. So let's begin and talk about your first life that I see and I want to tell you about. It was 3,500 years ago in Egypt, and you actually were a prince. You were a son of Ramses II, and he had many children. He had 20 children. It was a good life, and you were very wealthy, and you had a nice life. One day they prepared your meal for you, and one of your servants ate a piece of fruit that was meant for you. They were going to execute him, but you asked them to not kill him, and the two of you became very good friends for the rest of your life in that life. That servant back then is now your brother in this life. You may have noticed that your brother is very intelligent, and you've learned a lot from him. He's much older than you. He's 1 billion years old, and he is on level 4, which is quite an accomplishment for someone that's only 1 billion years old. So that is the first life I would like you to think about. The next life that I see is about 2,800 years ago, and you were a Roman gladiator. You are a non-violent person, so this was a very difficult life for you. You did not want to fight people. You did not want to kill people. This was something that was forced upon you. One day, you were in the arena and you took your spear and it went right through another man. And as he lay dying on the ground, you were standing over him and crying and apologizing that you did not want to do it. And the lesson from that life is that you learn that life is sacred and you should never take another person's life unless you are defending your own life or someone else's. So, the man that you killed is now a woman in this life. It's your wife. And I take it that she has back problems. Her back problems will probably never go away until she fully forgives you, which may take several more lifetimes. I know it's hard to believe, but this is what I see. And finally, the last life that I see that's very significant to you is your most recent life, which was 300 years ago in Italy, and you were a priest. You and another priest had a relationship. You were lovers. It may be surprising to you, but that's what I see. And it actually was a very happy life, and the other priest was a very old soul, and you learned a lot from him. And you had a very intense love, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing, you see. We are meant to experience many types of love. And with each life, we learn something different, and our soul evolves. So, do you have any questions? Oh, do you know that priest? Have you met him? Have you met that priest that was your former lover 300 years ago? Well, actually, I recognized you as soon as you walked through the door. I was that priest, and it's nice to see you again.